Morning people, hope everyone's doing good. Today is the 6th of August. Just want to do another sort of update video because the situation is evolving continuously, and if you're sort of listening to the government rhetoric and reading between the lines, you can see what is surely not too far away for, I would say, everybody in the world population and countries, but especially going to happen in the UK and already happening in Australia. And I would say it's happening in those two countries first, or to certain extremes, because those two countries are perceived free, the free world, however you want to look at it. I hope you understand what I mean, that those countries are perceived that way. And if you can get your citizens to comply and adhere to your instruction, even when there is very little logic need to be applied to adhere to those instructions, then the rest of the world is going to follow very, very easily. I can say that because I've travelled to many countries, in lots of countries now, in Asia, some in South America as well. Life has pretty much got back to normal, with some restrictions. Like in public transport, they sort of have to wear masks, but gyms are open, bars are open, restaurants are open, people are sat next to each other, people are socialising. But when the call comes to shut them places down, you won't get the same resistance as you would in a country like Australia or the United Kingdom, where people openly criticise their government, openly speak out, because the fear isn't the same as it is in other countries. So that's why it's happening in these perceived free countries first. But make no mistake about it, it's going to be pushed onto the entire world. But anyway, in Australia at this current time, whole state and cities are being put into a stage 4 lockdown, where businesses are closed, movement is heavily restricted, on-the-spot fines, big fines, no meeting with friends in houses, all this stuff, lots of heavy restrictions. And this is even when you look at the numbers of the places, it's just like a lot of cases. There hasn't actually been that many deaths. It is really an overreaction, to say the least, but this is what is going to come for everybody eventually. And even in the United Kingdom, just yesterday, a city in Scotland, Aberdeen, was placed back into a complete lockdown with curfews, businesses closing, pubs closing, not allowed to socialise with friends, stay home once a week, shopping, all this usual nonsense that is just about getting people to comply and to follow. And we've also had it in some cities in England. Leicestershire, the county of Leicestershire, was actually placed on an extended quarantine, and now in the north of England, people are being told, don't see your friends, don't do this, don't go out, curfews, don't have sex. I mean, it really is laughable, but it actually isn't laughable, because this is happening and people are truly going along with it without so much of a second thought. So what I really wanted to say on this video was paying attention to what the government... Oh, that's my water bottle. Let me just get that. Actually, I think I'll just finish this video off before I continue my journey, actually. So, as I was saying, in the UK they've announced that they'll have the capacity to test up to 500,000 people a week. They'll have a test that will have a 90-minute turnaround, so we can get a result within 90 minutes. And all this is being put into place when all of the schools in the United Kingdom are being encouraged to go back in September, early September. And the government changed legislation that would give when a child is at school and the parent isn't there, basically the teacher or the school are sort of the legal the guardian. They're there to sort of take care of the child. So they're the ones who now, with this new legislation, actually have permission to take those child and do tests even against your will. You know, you won't have much of a say in this. And if a child tests positive, they will obviously look to isolate the entire household, take that child out. They're even putting things into power where they can take that child out into a completely isolated place. I don't know, for 10 days, 2 weeks, whatever their quarantine measure is going to be. And it's just really a complete overreach of powers. And what this is going to do with all these tests, I mean, all the children that go back to school, if they're going to be testing up to 500,000 people a week, we are going to have some huge numbers of positive tests. And that is what is going to push the next stage of this whole pandemic in the United Kingdom. We are going to see the type of things you're seeing in Australia now. They're going to come here too. They're going to be rolled out here on a par with Australia. And I don't think it will be too long before you see the entire United Kingdom put down into a complete lockdown, what we haven't seen anything the likes of. They're even, as I say, if you pay attention to the rhetoric and read between the lines, they're saying, oh, we did make a mistake now at the beginning, we didn't put the lockdown in early enough and we wasn't tough enough. So that means this time they are going to be tough enough. That is what that is all about. It's letting you know in a subtle way, in a different kind of way, what they're going to do. And this is basically how they're going to force this whole vaccination program onto people. I mean, a lot of people are scared to sort of to say anything now. Well, when the fear gets ramped up to a stage 4, stage 5 lockdown, if you haven't got a voice now, it's highly unlikely you're going to have a voice at a time like that. I'm not saying this to scare people. I'm saying this because it's the reality that's coming. There's no point burying your head in the sand. There's no point thinking, oh, it's going to be okay. None of this is happening. It's coming. Make no mistake about it. It is coming. And as I said at the beginning, they do it in these two countries. I think the United Kingdom and Australia, because we're the perceived free countries, and if they can push this stuff onto us with very little resistance, when it comes to the other countries around the world, the fear of police and authority and government is it's a different ball game to what you see in these countries. So anyway, just wanted to do a quick little one. I've got to get back on my bike or I'll be late for work. Just a little update. 6th of August. Again, everyone keeps saying, well, what can we do? What can we do? I see lots of protests happening at the moment in the United Kingdom, which is great. But I've had 4 different invites now. One last weekend, one this weekend, one the weekend after that, and one the weekend after that. And why? I know it's easy for me to say, and it's very hard to achieve. But why can we not get this all under one umbrella? Why can we not unite? We're all going for the same goal here, the same message. We know that this is nonsense. We don't want to go with it anymore. We want to let our government know exactly what our thoughts are. We need to get unified and quick. We need to get organised like this cult has been for a very, very long time. And we need to resist, just like we saw in Germany over the weekend in Berlin. The mainstream media put in reports of maybe, I don't know, 17,000, 20,000 was the number. Anybody who saw the pictures and the videos will know that is nonsense. There was some reports were saying that over 1 million people. I would say it couldn't have been too far off of that because the pictures were amazing to see. That's people power at its finest, and that is what it takes sometimes to sort of send the message. That's why it would be great if we can get all of these things united under one umbrella. Easier said than done, I know. But anyway, stay alert, like really stay alert. Don't listen to their nonsense. Read between the lines, and let's see where we go from here. Anyway, I've got to get to work. Have a blessed day. Speak to you soon.